Proverbs 2:3. Ki im la bina tikra, la tevuna titain kolecha. So we get here, indeed, this is what I would call an asseverative key. And you might see the word severe in there, and it's not like this is severe in the sense of being a punishment or anything, but it's this idea of emphasis. Surely, indeed. I think the ESV maybe goes with something like, yes, if you call out for insight, is how the ESV says this. And so this is something like indeed, if. And then we get that im again, which we actually saw up here in verse 1, if you receive. And so now we get another, yes, indeed, surely, if to understanding. Now this is different than tevuna that we've seen earlier. This is now just bina, but you can see how both of those are related to the verbal root bin, to understand. So to understanding, you call out. Here's a call imperfect second masculine singular of the verbal root kof resh aleph. And so if you call out, then we get in parallel to understanding again. Sometimes English translations will go with insight here and then understanding here, or vice versa. The words are very, very similar. You can see the same verbal roots again, but there however you want to do those synonyms, you can. So insight here, and to understanding you give, call imperfect to ms of the verbal root nun tav nun. And as we've seen so many times before, and you know this to be true with natan, that one nun assimilates here. This dagesh lene is just because it's a begad kifat letter at the beginning of a word. So here we have the dagesh forte of that assimilated nun. So to understanding, you give your voice. Again, just a parallel way of saying you call out for it. And so this is a little bit more explanation, I think, of that active paying attention, inclining your heart toward understanding, paying attention to your parents' instruction, to wisdom, these sorts of things. Indeed, if you will do this. And here's what we're going to see in verse 4. Let me jump forward here. These slides are not formatted, but let me jump forward here. We're going to get another im, and then in verse 5, we're going to get then. Okay, so we're going to get another im. So we're just going to leave this one hanging here for a minute. But you see that intentional, that focused, paying attention, calling out, actively saying, hey, understanding, where are you? Understanding, I need your help. Insight, I need you. Those sorts of things. Now let's talk for just a second about the distinction between bina and tevuna. So here you see they're parallel. That doesn't mean they're identical. I'm referring here to Andrew Steinman's commentary in the Concordia series again. In the introduction to that commentary, he gives some words on wisdom that are related to wisdom in the book of Proverbs, and also words that are related to folly in the book of Proverbs, and gives a great detailed list of these. I have a chart of these laid out, and in my chart, I'm showing here that bina, this one here, is related more to a theoretical knowledge, or this ability to reason. So when we think about wisdom, we oftentimes think about this superior mental ability, maybe someone who's able to be incredibly discerning theoretically, that sort of thing. And that's this type of understanding. When we get down here to tevuna, I should have used this blue highlighter earlier. Let's just do both of them. There we go. When we get down to tevuna at the bottom here in the second part of the verse, this is more of the idea of applied understanding. And so this might be a little more related to what we think of as wisdom. So that knowledge applied, or understanding applied. Now, those are not wholesale definitions and distinctions, but it kind of gives us an idea of how these two words related to the same verbal root could be used in parallel to one another. And so, again, let's apply this. Proverbs 2:3. Indeed, if you call out to a superior mental ability, this clarity of thought that the Lord can give to you, this understanding of systems and how the world works, this God's wisdom as given in creation, if you can, call out for that, but also give your voice Again, another way of saying call out. Give your voice to applying that knowledge in particular situations, knowing when it's right to do one thing and when it's better to do another thing. This is this is indeed what we're going to see as the benefit of wisdom in the book of Proverbs. And again, I think all this goes back to that idea of hiding this away, treasuring it, calling out to insight, calling out to understanding.